top 5 sleepers for the 2020 fantasy football season. I'll kick it off. Number 5, man. I think my boy Rome gonna feel me with this one. You need you a quarterback, and you in the late rounds, and you doing some late round shopping. There's a guy in Washington that might be turning some heads this year. That's one, Dwayne Haskins. Reports out of camp that Dwayne Haskins is putting things together, man. And if you look at the advanced metrics of last season, you will know that Dwayne Haskins had the least turnover-worthy plays with the most big-time throws out of all the rookie quarterbacks. I can see it happening. I can see him being a sleeper and really catching the league by storm.
You said sleeper or sleep while he's on?
All right, look, I don't want to hear no Washington slander, bro. You done put the 49ers in your little top 5. We nominated Scruff for the 76ers. Dwayne is a sleeper, bro. Dwayne is a sleeper. And he's going to wake y'all up on week 1, bro.
Appreciate that.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right, number 4, man. Number 4. Now, this guy's a guy you could probably get around the 6th, 7th round, but he's going to give you 2nd or 3rd round production. That's one Curtis Samuel. The reason I'm so high on Curtis Samuel this season is because Teddy Bridgewater is one of the best underneath passers in the league, man. One of the best short passers in the league is Teddy Bridge. Curtis Samuel is a guy that can take something short and take it to the house and really make something out of these short passes underneath routes. So Curtis Samuel is a guy you should be keeping your eye on that 6th, 7th round range. If he's still there, go ahead and nab him because he can give you some big time production this season. Number 3 is a guy I was very high on when he came out in the 2019 draft, and that's Paris Campbell for the Indianapolis Colts. He didn't make a ton of noise last year. Gives him a perfect opportunity to catch the league by storm. This is another guy that can take a short pass, take it to the house. He has elite speed. He can get the end of rounds, so he even get you a few carries a game most of the times. I'm high on Paris Campbell. I was high on him coming out. In fact, I was higher on him than I was on Terry McLaurin. So that should give you a little taste of what Paris Campbell could be. Number 2, I'm going back to my homerism a little bit, but this guy, I think this guy is going to end up being great in the league, and that's Steven Sims Jr. If you're not aware of the wide receiver Steven Sims Jr. in Washington, you need to go ahead and get hip. This dude is a dog. It's all going to depend on opportunity for him, but it seems like he's going to get this opportunity. And this is a guy that you could probably get in the 11th, 12th round of your draft. So that's the definition of a sleeper. So if you need a guy, Steven Sims Jr. is your guy. Number 1, man, I hate telling y'all this. I'm happy we already had our draft. I'm happy it's a dynasty league. Because number 1, I got Damian Harris out of New England Patriots. In fact, I drafted him in our league since y'all was all asleep. Since we are doing the sleepers, y'all was asleep on Damian Harris. But hey, man, Damian Harris was the lead back over Josh Jacobs at Alabama. And, I know y'all love Josh Jacobs. You 4 running back around guys. You 5 running backs in my top 5 type niggas.
I traded up for Josh Jacobs. Shout out to Rome.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh Jacobs. He is a dog. But Damian Harris has the chance to be better. And I know that might sound crazy, but it wasn't crazy to Nick Saban. And I trust Nick Saban's judgment. So my number 1 sleeper is Damian Harris. So Rome, kicking it back to you, man. Let's hear that. Let's hear the top 5 sleepers, bro.
All right, here we go, man. Top 5 sleepers. This is definitely going to be good. My number 5 sleeper is a tight end for the Detroit Lions, TJ Hawkinson. I think nobody is thinking about him at all. If you are thinking about him, kudos to you. You are awake. You are awake in class. TJ Hawkinson, I think he's going to put up some numbers, man. Matt Stafford hasn't really had a tight end like that. And hey, stay asleep then, man. You're going to wake up when fantasy start. But yeah, back to my list real quick. I went Hawkinson from the Lions. And my number 4 is also on the Lions. It's his QB, Matthew Stafford. I think they're going to basically be connected. Stafford always puts up numbers. The thing with Matthew Stafford, he doesn't win games. So you can hate on Matthew Stafford in reality for not winning enough, but he's going to lead you to a fantasy championship because he is a stat stuffer. And he's never had a tight end like Hawkinson, like I just said. So I think those 2 are major sleepers. They're going to put up numbers together. Number 3, another shout out to my man, DeMelo Ragu. I might catch some shade for this one, but Bryce, you put Haskins in there. I'm putting Danny Dimes in there. I know a lot of people don't like the weapons around him in New York. I think they're all solid. I think Saquon Barkley is another huge piece. Daniel Jones got some nice little pieces around him, man. I think he's going to be real solid and put some good numbers up. And he's a guy that nobody is thinking about. Nobody is thinking about. And number 2, another guy that nobody is thinking about from the same draft class, another quarterback. That's my man Drew Lock. Drew Lock in Denver. I love what they did surrounding him with them weapons. If he fails, it's going to be on him. It's definitely going to be on him. I'm actually going to drop an article here soon about the AFC West. I did a little deep dive on Drew Lock, which is why he snuck into my top 5 here. I think he's going to have a big season, and nobody's ready for it. My number 1 fantasy sleeper. We talked running backs this whole time. This guy's going to be a running back. Nobody mentioned him. He's on a team that is often forgot about out in LA, and that is the Chargers. Austin Eckler. He probably isn't even really a sleeper if you're smart out here and you know what you're doing. Running backs are critical to the game of fantasy football. Austin Eckler is going to get a ton of touches. They got Tyrod and Justin Herbert as their quarterbacks. They're not going to go out there and throw 30 passes a game. It's going to be the Austin Eckler show. Melvin Gordon's gone. He's going to get the bulk of the touches. So there it is, man. Austin Eckler. He's a true sleeper.
Okay. All right. T, I'm gonna go ahead and give you. You gonna give yours, and I'll give mine. We'll round it up.
All right. I just want to start off by saying I like Rome's list. Solid list. Bryce's list, I'm just not sure what that's about. I mean,
we'll wait for the hindsight. Wait for the hindsight.
Those are picks if you're in a 20-team league or something. You know what I'm saying? If your league has more than 14 teams and you're desperate, you know what I mean, and you don't know like who to pick, those are some good names that might get you like 7 points a week. You know what I mean? But let me just throw my list out there. Again, I went, through the positions. So let me just start off with quarterback. And no surprise, me and Rome both have Drew Lock. I really love what this kid has around him. I mean, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay. I mean, tell me a name you don't like. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. You like KJ Hamler, Bryce?
I like him.
KJ Hamler's a ball.
All right. So it's Drew Lock for me at
my favorite guys on the drive.
No offense too, but it's Drew Lock for me at
no offense to these two.
He's a sleeper too, but he didn't make my list. But no offense is that offense should be elite. You know what I mean? They should put up some points and move some chains. There should be some shootouts. You should see them on red zone a lot. All right, so number 2, I'm starting to reconsider this one. I have Bryce Love, but I don't know if I can trust guys named Bryce at this point. Like, I'm not sure. It seems like I made a mistake here.
I'm missing the biggest sleeper.
Y'all gonna make me get the tallies out of how many times I've been right and how many times you've been wrong, man.
Hey, we need to start marking this stuff down because that sleeper list sounds crazy to me. All right. I love Bryce Love. I love what he did in college. Got bit by the injury bug. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been saying since draft day he's the best running back on the roster. Now that Geis is out the way, Bryce Love is there. I mean, he's the guy. He can run. He can catch. Word out of camp is Ron Rivera loves him. What more do you want than the coach? Than the coach loves you. So Bryce Love, running back is so important. We all agree. Then Bryce Love is a sleeper. All right, my receiver. And this one shouldn't be a sleeper if you think about it, but it is. Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, I'm seeing guys like Allen Robinson ahead of him. Like, Big Ben is back. Now, I don't know how much you think Big Ben has in the tank, but it's got to be more than a guy named Duck Devlin, or whatever his name was. All right. The guy will have a Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think Juju finishes inside the top 10. Honestly, I think he finishes inside the top 7. But a lot of places have him outside the top 15. So to me, that's a sleeper. That's a lot of value for a receiver. All right. So at tight end, this pick, just call me a genius when it turns out. But Chris Herndon, people don't even know that name, but he's a tight end for the Jets. He played one game last season, had one catch, but the season before last, as a rookie, he had 500 yards. I think he had like 9 catches over 20 yards. I mean, the guy can play football. He's a solid all-around tight end. young quarterback, Sam Darnold. Oh, see, Juju, we got a fan, smart guy. All right, this is my segment, buddy. All right, so Chris Herndon, but I think he's the guy with the Jets. If you struggle to find a tight end, if you can't get Hockenson, you can't get Fant, you can't get some of the bigger names, roll a dice on Chris Herndon. He'll be there super late. Roll a dice on that guy. So I picked the defense for my number 5. And this isn't a sexy pick, but to me it makes a ton of sense. It's the Buccaneers, right? This team, the defense didn't look all that great last year, but they were strong against the run, and they had a lot of passing yards put up on them. And they had to play with Jameis Winston, 30 for 30. Tom Brady's going to manage the game so much better. So I think the Buccaneers are a sleeper pick. If you can't get those big name defenses that 49ers, the Steelers, there's a few more out there, I think you can wait late, draft a guy you want to take a risk on, and still grab the Buccaneers, who I think will end up at least a top 10 defense, if not a top 5. I think Tom Brady, what do they say, high tide makes all the boats rise or something. I might have just made that up. It sounded good. But, yeah, that's my top 5.
Never heard of it, but I rock with it. You feel me? I like that, though. I like that team, spreading it out. You feel me? You made me want to throw out a couple of sleepers I got from different positions. You named them, though. Noah Fant was definitely in one of them. But I'm going to stick to my top 5 that I prepared. I actually had 7 prepared because I knew one of y'all was going to name somebody from my list by the time it got around to my turn. So I'm going to leave people off my list. Shout out Bryce, Damian Harris, definitely a sleeper. But go ahead. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to give you a little diversity in my list. I'm going to start with a quarterback. And maybe this won't be a sleeper to y'all, but in draft so far, more or less, maybe we're just anxious to draft, but this guy wasn't getting drafted like that. Cam Newton, bro, like you talking about sleepers, like you got to pick up Cam Newton because like Cam Newton, I don't know. I will tell y'all to the world, I made a sleeper bet on Cam Newton to win the MVP this year. Cam Newton.
Who drafted Cam Newton in our league?
Some guy. He don't really know much about fantasy football though.
Okay.
Nah, T, you drafted him. Good looks, man. I didn't know he was gonna get picked up. I thought he got blackballed. I thought he got Kaepernicked. I wasn't gonna take my chances on the system doing right by Cam Newton. But thank God somebody did. But Cam Newton is definitely a sleeper now that he's on an NFL team. Go ahead and get Cam Newton because I think he's going to have an MVP caliber season. If you don't win it, he's going to have an MVP caliber season. I got number 2. I got to throw out Deontay Johnson. I'm surprised nobody threw him out there. He's so much of a sleeper that, like, literally he's not even a sleeper no more because everybody knows he's going to be good. Because this guy was, like, pretty much a slow start to last season. He had a great end of the season. He pretty much picked up when he needed to, and that was with Duck Dodgers and whoever the heck was at quarterback for the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, maybe the next Antonio Brown. Pretty bold prediction, but we'll see. Another one I got here. Can't believe y'all didn't name him. T, you were so close by picking Bryce Love. You got the right team, but you got the wrong player, my brother. I know Bryce didn't name him because he probably doesn't even want to share this with the rest of the world. But the real sleeper on the Redskins is Antonio Gibson, my friend. That's the real sleeper on the Redskins. If y'all sleep, I'm waking y'all up. It's not too late. It's 11:30. It's still plenty of time for y'all to wake up and draft him before the NFL draft starts. Go ahead and get you Antonio Gibson because if you know the Redskins offense, you know that they got the featured third down back role. Chris Thompson was in that role. He was a very solid fantasy contributor for many teams, many years, and now he's no longer on the team. Guess what? That role is going to get filled. Chris Thompson, that multi-purpose back, split out, maybe split him out wide. Antonio Gibson, the Redskins are weak at wide receiver. They were pretty much in an open position at running back. Now you got Adrian Peterson, whoever else can give you like decent, solid production is going to get a play. Give me Antonio Gibson. I see him potentially maybe as a combo wide receiver slot running back option. Definitely somebody worth taking a late flyer on. Go ahead, get you Antonio Gibson, bro. One more. Actually, I got 2 more right here. Another Cam Akers, the Rams, bro. Y'all know my mentality. If you don't know, I'm telling you right now. Fresh legs over old legs. Not saying Henderson is an old leg back, but I'm telling you that Cam Akers is a fresh leg back coming in from Florida State. He had a bounce back junior season. He is a upward trajectory for them right now. I like him a lot. I think he might be their leading rusher in a team where they need some fresh legs. Todd Gurley, y'all know it. That's literally the anti-fresh legs, Todd Gurley. My man worn out. Give him some fresh legs. I'm pretty sure they'll get some moves going. And then last but not least, I'm going to throw out a wide receiver sleeper. And y'all going to sleep. Y'all probably still going to sleep after I tell y'all, but I'm going to tell you anyway. NFL bloodline, my friend, and a quarterback that's been hungry for a good receiver. Jalen Reagor, sleeper. Don't miss out on Jalen Reagor. That's a top 5 sleeper in my opinion because my boy is about to be potentially the number 1 receiver for the Eagles this season with a whole bunch of old guys that typically don't necessarily consistently play all the games. Deshaun Jackson hasn't played 16 games in his entire career. Alshon Jeffrey doesn't look like he's committed. I don't know what's going on, but I know Jalen Reagor are going to come out with the speed. He's going to bring that 4.29 speed to the Eagles. That's my top 5 sleepers for the NFL season.
Hey, real quick, man, to be fair, I just want to point something out. My biggest takeaway from this fantasy segment, Scruff threw in an Eagle. You know, T, you threw in the 49ers defense. Bryce, I love the fact that you threw in Dwayne Haskins and Steve Sim Jr., but I'm the only one who did not throw in a player from his favorite squad. I picked 0 Washington football team players, but all 3 of you also picked a Washington football team player. So we appreciate the love. I'll take that, you know. Y'all aren't too sleep. You realize Antonio Gibson's going to ball, you know. T, you know Bryce Love is going to be like that. You know, Bryce, they must be listening to Hell of the Culture, Bryce. Maybe we getting through to them.
I got a lot of open spots. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, they hating on my list, man. I just caution y'all, man. You know, whenever my opinions or my hot takes are disagreed with, they end up being the most right. So let's revisit this list. I say we revisit this list mid-season, see how everybody's list is stacking up.
I think it's fair.
That sounds like a fantasy contest in itself, man. Take all these sleeper lists, add up all the points at the end of the season. Let's put some bread.